Well, guys, we are here to review your favorite show, Black Ink Crew Chicago. A lot is changing, a lot is evolving, a lot is growing, and we are here to talk about it. The review is up next.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Shoulder lean. We need our Chi-Town music back.
I know. I wonder if now,
the same.
since it's the theme song for the actual show, we should be able to use it now.
We should be able to use
like
it because Black Ink Crew Chicago is just not the same. The review or the show without Four's intro. Okay? Shout out to Four. We hear you, baby. We see you coming up. What's up, everybody? We are your Black Ink Crew Chicago review panel for tonight. I'm your girl, Carmen, and I have my wonderful co-host, Maria in the building.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, baby?
Hey, I miss you, boo.
I miss you too. We back at it. We down two, but I know. Yeah. But we're here to, talk about your favorite show, Black Ink Crew Chicago, which is actually one of my favorite shows. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the only reasons why I watch TV, regular TV. Black Ink Crew Chicago, honestly. Yeah. Season 6. Season 6. These guys have lasted.
2-hour premiere, a lot going on.
So much going on.
New faces,
whole new crew, whole new tattoo shop. Charmaine made her own seat, not even got a seat at the table, built her own table.
She said built her own table.
Dawn and Ashley seem to be doing well.
Yes.
They had a little scare. We'll talk about that. Ryan is opening up.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen this side of Ryan, so we get to talk about some of the things that he's been, holding in for a lot of years. And I think this was a very important, eye-opening episode for everybody to understand him more. Of course, Freaky Four still doing his Freaky Four thing. Okay. And we got a whole lot of new people to meet, too, at Second City Tattoo. So let's get right into it. How'd you feel about tonight's episode?
I liked the episode. At first, I was a little I don't know if I want to get to know new people.
Always.
But I like the two. I got to learn people's names. I don't really know everyone's name yet, but the little couple.
The little couple.
They're cute.
Yes.
I was okay, so since they were cute, then I was okay, I'm going to try to warm up to everyone else. So I didn't mind it. And I'm like, you know what, Charmaine, go ahead and do that. Open up that other shop. And, and Ryan's like, what you know about tattooing?
Yes.
She may not know anything about tattooing, but she knows about running a shop because she ran IMAG.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? She was the manager.
Well, since you brought it up, let's get right into it. Last season we saw Charmaine going her separate ways, actually being let go, and her feelings being really hurt. But instead of just running off and, crying with her tail between her legs, she went and she built her own thing. She's been inspired by what she's learned over the past few years working with NYMAC, and now baby girl has Second City Tattoos. How you feel about her power move?
I mean, exactly what it was, is a power move. And like I just said, she had some experience, you know what I mean? She was a manager at NYMAC, so she knows how to operate a shop as far as let's get some clientele in here, you know what I mean, and scheduling appointments and things like that. And she went and she reached out to a dope artist because the girl from London, when they showed her work, she's super dope. So that's what you do. You go reach out and get the person that knows what you don't know.
Yes.
And you partner up, you know? And so she did it the right way to me. It's not like she just was let me open a shop.
Right.
And she just went and found these artists and she didn't have anyone in charge that really, you know what I mean, knew what they were doing. So she did it the right way. She went and got some help and she was like, I don't need y'all no more. Just the game you want to play, I can play it better.
And I always thought that Charmaine did a good job at holding down whatever her responsibility was. I know the what they call it, celebrity concierge thing was a little shaky. Because here she is becoming a celebrity on her own, in her own right. She's, on the radio and she has a lot to handle. She has a new relationship. She has a lot going on and she's trying to attend to other people who have a lot going on and bring in more celebrities. It could be a lot to learn how to balance in the moment. So I kind of sympathize with why that didn't go as smooth for her as she wanted to go. But she's showing that she at least has the ability to organize people, bring them together. They have a shop. The people are good.
Like I said, before they got to that part, she was actually working there doing, you know what I mean? Before these cameras started rolling, she had a real job, you know what I mean? At NYMAG to be keeping things in order. Like I said, scheduling and all that other stuff.
Keeping it clean.
Keeping it clean and everything. So she knew the ins and outs.
Being a fun person.
Right.
I wonder if she's going to bring her twerk over to Second City or if she's going to leave that thing behind. But she's a married woman now, so she can't be shaking too much.
About to be a mama.
And about to be a mama. Well, Ryan I do want to talk about that, but let's talk about Ryan's feelings about Second City. He doesn't seem too happy, huh?
He's Ryan. He's Ryan. The Ryan reaction to it.
Do you think? I don't think he's intimidated because he seems like a very confident man.
Yeah.
Is it a tinge of like who she thinks she is? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to call it jealousy.
Yeah, I don't think it's jealousy, but I think he's just feeling like, who is she? Like, she has the audacity to try to do this, you know?
Because in my opinion, if you can run business as far as keeping things organized, you don't have to know how to do everything as long as you know how to hire people. Mm-hmm. To me, that's what a real boss is, a person who doesn't necessarily know everything about everything, but they know who to hire. If you know who to hire, you can run some stuff. So you agree, you think she can run a tattoo shop and not know how to tattoo? Because Ryan thinks she's bogus for that.
Like I said, she went and she got the help that she needed to do it. It's not like she's running it by herself. If she was running it by herself, I probably would lean a little more towards Ryan. Like, okay, I kind of get it. I understand that she could run it, but she may not know the ins and outs of the actual work, you know, to know what artists to bring in to work for her. But she brought someone in, like I keep saying, you know what I mean? To be able to help her with that. So it's like, you kind of got to fall back, Ryan. But like I said, he's having a Ryan reaction to this whole situation.
But here's the thing. Even Ryan started off tattooing at home, and then he built and he worked his way up. So he had to learn the ropes by opening 9mag himself too. So now Charmaine wants to travel that same route.
And he just feels like, it was done behind his back.
Oh, okay.
But I guess he's feeling like you could have done other things. You're on the radio. You didn't even have to step into this realm.
Right. Like why you in my lane?
Like, yeah. I guess
why you in my
lane,
sis?
Like that. And I get that. I could understand him feeling that way. Like, why are you even doing this? But
and also, when you know somebody as well as Ryan and Charmaine know each other, you also know their weaknesses. And sometimes it's hard not to judge a person based on their weaknesses. Like, it's like, come on, Charmaine. I know what you've been through, and I know, it's been hard for you in this place, or in this position, and this position. So what makes you think you can handle this? But you can't discredit a person's growth and, what they've learned, what she learned from working under him and him being a boss and him knowing how to handle stuff. Like, she absorbed some of that. So we got to give her a shot. And so far, it looks like it's going well. She's using her clout as a radio host. She's using her clout from working at 9mag to draw in a crowd for her new shop. And she also has one of the supporters of 9mag, which is Rolling Out Magazine, who did a press event for her. Now, how did you feel about Ryan and the guys showing up, Ryan Ford and Dawn showing up to the event, but not really speaking to her?
Yeah, that was kind of messed up. I mean, I feel like, I guess they went to the event. Supposedly, they didn't know exactly what it was. I guess they thought it was just a rolling out event.
Okay.
But still, it's like, dag, is it that much bad blood between y'all? Y'all can't be cordial and say
Go
hi?
on, tell that girl congratulations.
Say hi.
Right.
Yeah.
But he probably was shocked.
Maybe.
He probably gagged. Like
what is this? And he was so shady. He was talking about how many followers she had. Like, who doesn't know about Second City? The public. I was like, oh, Ryan.
Yeah, he was roasting a little bit. He roasted her a little bit.
But, I mean, it's new. She has to build it.
Yeah, she's doing well. And at the event,
check their followers now.
Go on, check it so we can let people know what's popping over there. We got to meet the crew at the event. We have Fly Tat, Prince, Drea, Plug, and Dre and Zach got a little thing going on. We got Zach, and then of course the co-owner Jess. I think they make a cute little crew. I definitely feel the energy is more. I feel like it's like a girlier.
Girl, they got 42,000 followers now.
See, it don't take long. I love the way she encouraged them when they got to the shop and they were talking about the followers, and her thing is like, Ryan ruled in a strict manner, but she even threw a jab at Ryan and was like, well, I know how to be nice to people. Yeah, I know how to treat people. So I just don't want her to be too nice. Don't mess up and be too nice that your staff starts to run over you. Yeah. That's the only concern that I have. It is very, very nice.
How Ryan was, and that's why she feels like, Ryan didn't know how to treat people, because Ryan didn't know how to regain control after being too much of the friend, so don't go down
that path. But to me, I think she's off to a good start. Speaking of Charmaine, she and Neek seem to be off to a good start as well.
Yes.
They snuck off and eloped, honey.
They did.
And the moms were not happy about it.
I was wondering, like, because on social media, I'm like, okay, so they're married now. So I thought they were just holding the wedding off from the public. Like, we were going to see it on the show.
Right.
And then they pop up like they just eloped. Like, what?
Right.
I feel how the parents feel. I wanted to see it.
Did you get the same chills run through your body when they were in the bedroom talking about the moms are going to just have to accept that they didn't get this moment? I got like chill, and it really is hard to even watch, like, once they actually got to the dinner. But even when he first, or the brunch, whatever they were having, but even when he first brought it up, it just gave me chills in my body, because I'm just like, I really wish that they had created that moment. But I know they had to do it that way, but just knowing that Charmaine's mom, rest in peace, is no longer with us, it's just like so chilling. Like, we've grown to love her through this show. You know, condolences, Charmaine, for your loss. It's definitely a hard one for anyone, anybody. I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine, but I know one day, you know, if I live long enough, I'll experience that too. So it's like, I just can't help but to see myself in my mom in her shoes and be like, oh my goodness, I can only imagine what she's feeling.
Yeah, it's gotta be tough.
Yeah. How did you feel when you saw that scene at the restaurant?
Oh, many different emotions. Like, you know, sad because she's not here, but then happy that, you know, she knew, she was so happy when she found out, you know, Charmaine was pregnant. Her little dance, like, we're going to have a baby, we're going to have a baby.
Yes.
So it's just that there's a little bit of comfort there. And like, and I know Charmaine has that comfort. Like, at least she knows that her mom knew that she was going to be a mother, you know.
I really hope that, it's so hard for us to talk about this. I feel like we both up here trying not to cry. Let me take a little sip of water.
Because I know Charmaine keeps, she posted on social media, she was like, she just keeps hearing her mom say like, oh, I can't believe my baby's having a baby.
I hope that when she watched the episode, she had the strength to watch it. And I hope that seeing her mom so happy gave her peace. But yeah, that was deep. That was a deep one. But you know, they got a new bundle of joy on the way.
Yes.
So that should bring a whole lot of happiness.
Should.
How do we feel about Neek's hating mother? Why is Nick's mom
She's just
let it go, Mom?
traditional.
Yeah, but
it's like at this point, I honestly don't think she's understanding the concept that they're married and it's okay.
See, here's the thing. At some point, you have to stop being selfish. Like, your son's life is not your life. He's living his life for himself, and now his wife, and now his child. Yeah. So it's like, it's not all about you. Like, I just want her to ease up on the how I want it and the me stuff.
And I think it's a mixture of what she wanted, and then she's like I said, she's really not grasping the concept. Like, they are legally married. They are married. Right. You know, she's thinking like maybe y'all did some foo-foo stuff. Like, y'all not married. Y'all just wearing rings. Like, no, they are married. They're married. And it's still, she wants to see the tradition. And God is everywhere, so it was still in front of God. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But yeah, she needs to ease up.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As a mother, I want to see my daughter in a wedding dress as well. I do. I want to share in that moment, but I will respect the privacy of it. They live their whole lives on television. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they wanted something private. I get it. And maybe he didn't want his mom bringing that energy. True. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he didn't want to deal with the stress of all of that. You know, but I'm happy they did it the right way. They got married, you know. They lived together, they got married, and now they're having a baby.
Now they're having a baby.
Congratulations, guys. Anything else about Charmaine? Did we miss anything?
I think that's about it. Right? Yeah, with Charmaine for right now.
Let's talk about our boy Ryan. Because, oh yeah, it's a little love thing going on at her shop too, which kind of goes against the rules. Oh, Zach and Drea. But I think they're cute.
They're cute, and hopefully it won't go left.
How we feel about the tattoos that they did?
I liked, what's his name, Zach?
Zach.
I like Zach's. Drea. Sorry.
It's okay.
I should have wrote these names down. Drea's was nice. It was nice, but Zach's.
Yeah, Drea's was like, oh, that's real nice. But then when you saw Zach's, it was like oh, no. I wonder if the girl was kind of mad. Like, I should have just waited for Zach.
I would have waited. I would have been like, oh, no, that's okay.
Drea's was hot, though. Drea did a really good tattoo.
But in comparison to my boyfriend's tattoo, I would have been mad.
Well, hopefully, hopefully she was satisfied.
Yeah,
but so far
it's not trash. So
far the work at Second City looks really, really good. We have to talk about the head man in charge, Ryan. But before we do, we're gonna give a little shout out to our network. Marie.
Yes, guys. So make sure you guys are subscribing to all of the channels that we have. We have drama, we have reality TV like this one, sci-fi, comedy, everything. So make sure, like I said, you guys subscribe to your favorite shows. And also make sure you guys hit us up in the chat. I see there are a few people watching live. Say hi, guys. Let us know what you guys thinking about this episode. And make sure you guys listen to us on Spotify and on iTunes. And make sure you guys give us those 5 stars and thumbs up on YouTube. Yep.
Yes, thank you guys for tuning in. We know that we are now a day after the show, so we appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you tell all your friends to watch us on Thursdays. It's 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because we'll be here definitely reviewing the show, okay? Okay, this one day late ain't gonna stop us. All right, moving right along. Ryan is still the head man in charge. A little salty that Charmaine opened the shop, but nonetheless, he's still doing his thing.
His new shop is thriving. He doesn't have that same energy. You know what I mean? All that crazy energy that was at the old 9 Mag. And we see a little bit of the shop, but it doesn't. I don't know how much. We're going to get into this, the new 9 Mag. And I think, like I said it before, like last season, I think he's going to try to keep the show a little separate. You know what I mean? We will see him in the shop. We will see him working, but I don't think it's going to be so, involved like the old 9 Mag was. So just to keep that
About
energy
it, the
fresh.
cast.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like I said, everything is going well over there, as it looks like, and then he's got the son, he's got Mace on the show now. Because I know first season he was on, and then Ryan and Rachel had their little thing. And he wasn't on the show no more. But so now I guess Ryan and Rachel are in a better place.
I don't even know. It's kind of still elusive.
Yeah, it's a weird place, but I think it's a better place because she's also still willing to be on the show as well.
Right.
And because she also has to sign off on Mason being on the show. True. So they're in a better place. Okay. And so it's good to see Ryan in dad mode. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Real dad mode too.
That's what I was going to bring up. Ryan is trying to balance a lot of things. I feel like that come along with being a grown man. I feel like these are like the growing pains of a grown man. I wish that him and Rachel were together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that they didn't have this co-parenting issue to deal with. But the reality is, a lot of times, this is what people have to go through. You have to decide where your children are going to be. How you're going to work around your schedules. Whose schedule is more important? Who is the main breadwinner now? Yeah. Those things are kind of set up in relationships where when you're dealing with two independent people, they now have to learn how to coexist and how to figure out how their children fit into that mix. Do you think, how'd you feel about the scene where, I'm sorry, Ryan's son, his name's slipping my... Mason. Ryan was busy and so was...
Rachel.
Why am I drawing a blank? And so was Rachel. Ryan was busy, Rachel was busy, but Mason needed to be tended to or watched, at least being accompanied somebody could watch him. How'd you feel about her reaction in that moment?
I thought, I don't know. See, it's tough, and I always, when I'm not in those positions, I don't like to speak on it too much. But hey, they on
just
they
for
on
the
TV,
sake of the show,
right?
yeah,
I'm like they on TV, so. But no, I mean like with kids, I don't like throwing my opinion in there too much. But I just felt like your shop seemed to be more calm than Ryan's, and so like that was a thing. Like, I am like super busy and I can't really be that attentive to him, and I don't want to make him feel that I'm not paying attention to him. You know what I mean? So go upstairs with your mom for a moment and then you can come back down or whatever like that. And I understand her feeling like, okay, you can't just be like dropping him off. Like, what if you didn't check in with me about what I have to do and things like that? But it's like, Rachel, you upstairs. And if you need to just send him right back downstairs, just send him right back downstairs. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he drove someplace, dropped them off, drove off. Like, you got to deal with your son now. Like, it was like, you upstairs, girl.
I think it's super cool that he's in a building where both of his parents own businesses. I would be running in the hallways all the time. Like, running upstairs with mom, running upstairs with dad. It would be cool to see them maybe open up inside that same building a facility for other people who work and they need like an after school fun time or something like that, maybe that's a good way to do it. Instead of looking at it as a problem, it's like, how can we spin this into something else that can benefit us together too?
True.
Maybe we should start a little, mini after
school
school
thing,
program.
yeah.
Or, I know they have a lot on their plates. That's just my version of wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But I always like to look for like the solution in a problem. Or maybe they can get a babysitter. I don't know how they feel about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even think because he's older. I think it was just like, and to play devil's advocate, then on Rachel's side, it's like, don't take advantage of the fact that I'm just right upstairs. So I can understand it, but I just felt like you just tripping a little too hard. But I can understand her feeling like, especially dealing with somebody like Ryan, he's going to try to pull his weight all the time. You know what I mean? And like beat his chest. Like Ryan is alpha male to the T.
He is alpha male.
You know what I mean? So it's like he's going to pull that card every time. And so she's trying to gain some of her, independence from him to be like, no, you can't do that. Like, I'm doing stuff up here too. You can't just like drop him off like that and take advantage of my closeness to, your job. Like, that's not okay. So I can understand her coming from it from that perspective, but I do still feel like she was just tripping a little too much.
Speaking of that alpha male demeanor, we got to hear a little bit about what contributed to that. Like we've known Ryan's story from the very beginning. We know that 9mag was inspired, by his sister. We know some of what we knew that he lost his sister, but I don't think we knew the details. And it seems as if his friends and his family are noticing that he has a lot on him and he may not be handling it the right way. First thing we see is wait, no. Did that happen first? Did Ryan and Dawn sit down together first, or did his family pull up on him?
Family first.
We noticed him asking him a little something. He's like, man, all I do is work, whoopty whoopty whoop. But then he mentions that he missed an event that was important, and you kind of could see that he just didn't really want to talk about it. I don't really want to talk about this right now. Like, let's not talk about this right now. But when his mom and his sister pulled up, he knew, it was nothing. How'd you feel about that moment where his family kind of checking him, like, look,
mom got them together, like, no, we're not gonna play this game. You know what I mean? Like, because I have to check on you, and especially like you have to sometimes think about where your mother is coming. Getting emotional. Where your mother is coming from, because that is a pain that will never go away. And then if you see some signs of your other child struggling to where if you feel you may lose them, so it's like, I don't think Ryan ever really thought about it that way. He was coming from the perspective of like, he's also the man of the family. Like, he has his father, but I think he also felt like he had to step up and be protective of his mom and his other sister. But it's like, even though you are a man, Ryan, you're still your mother's child.
That's true.
And so, you know what I mean? So she's still going to be protective over you as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, so she had to pull up, like, you missing events and things like that. And honestly, I think that whatever she said some things that they didn't show on camera. Because Ryan kept saying, she got me together. We didn't really see what she said. So I know she, like, really probably got in his ass, but in a loving way, you know what I mean? To be like, you can't keep going like this.
Like, we saw him have a little heart trouble. To the point where he had to go to the hospital. I don't know if it was a full-on heart attack or little baby.
He said it was a heart attack.
A little heart attack. Yeah. Like, so we know that this man is like, he deals with a lot. It's not easy to run a business and be a family man and be a celebrity, and try to show a good face for the public all the time. I'm sure in Chicago he's somewhat, now it's just on a much wider.
Because Ryan already had like his little local Chicago celebrity before the show even started, so then you add to that, like you're put on an even bigger scale, and now we're in season 6. He has 1 million followers. Like, your life is on a whole nother level now, and then you have this experience that was very traumatic that you didn't deal with. It's already a traumatic experience, and you have to grieve and things when you lose somebody, but to lose them the way that he did, to experience that loss, cleaning up her blood, just everything that he talked about going through, that is extremely traumatic.
When I heard the news clip, we definitely caught tears over that. Like, that was just so traumatic to hear it. It gave me chills in a way that I had never felt it when listening to his story. A 9-month baby.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I I don't even want to harp on it, but it's just, that's chilling to the bone. And to know that he was there and that he felt guilty, we get to hear more of the story that he was supposed to be there, and he wasn't. And I hate to say it like this because of the sacrifice he made by losing his sister. I really, not that he made, but the thing that the loss he took. That's, let me say that in a better way. The loss he took, and the way the loss the family took. He may not possibly be here today had he been there. Or in two ways, like you mentioned, he might have been in jail and not been able to flourish this wonderful future that he's created for now his family, himself, and now his son. Yeah. Or he might have been dead himself. He might have been dead himself. And I know, like, because that's right. I was saying off air that he wasn't supposed to be there, and it's hard for him to accept that, you know. And maybe since I'm so glad he is going to therapy now to really talk about that, because you have to unpack something that heavy. You know what I mean? So maybe he will be able to get to a place where he can realize that he wasn't supposed to be there. And I know as a brother, he feels like he should have been there to protect her. But like what we just said, you know, your mom may have lost 2 children that day. You know what I mean? Whether it was by you going to jail or you also not being here. You know what I mean? So it was more so it just you weren't supposed to be there, Ryan. You know what I mean? And it may be super hard for him to hear that, but it's just it is what it is, because like you said, you wouldn't, and he may feel like, oh, none of this matters or things like that, but it's just, you're putting on for your family, for your child, and they start a foundation, you know, so you're helping out other women that are going through domestic violence. And had you been there that day, none of these things will probably be happening. You know what I mean? So it's like, you may have lost your sister, but you guys now have a foundation where you could save thousands or hundreds of lives. You know what I mean? Now going forward. Absolutely.
So none of it brings Nova back. It doesn't. But hopefully he can, you know, start to get some type of peace that he was spared to be able to help save other lives.
Yes. Having to clean up after an event like that is absolutely traumatizing. And I'm so happy that his friends, Dawn and Four, pulled him to the side and said, bruh, it's okay to get therapy. Yes. We watched it happen with Four. And we watched him, you know, 2 seasons ago go through a breakdown over depression and holding so many things in. And Ryan does seem like a very prideful, like we said, strong alpha man. He probably doesn't want to come off weak. And I related to him so much in these moments, because without having experienced that type of trauma, we go through so many things just coping with growing up and growing as we all. So we're growing up until the day we're not here anymore. I'm just gonna say that, growing, because all of us are still growing up. Hopefully, you know. We don't know how to deal with it. Yeah. It's so much we go through that we don't know how to deal with it, but you can't just keep holding those tears in. Eventually they have to come out. I say anything you bury is still going to surface. And you those are still seeds that are planted. They're still eventually going to come up. And so they need to be dealt with. But he went to a therapist. How'd you feel about his session?
I'm so glad that he went. I'm so glad that he, you know, just opened up right away. Yes. You know, let's like get to the reason why we're here, you know? So, and at first as I was watching it, I was like, is this therapist going to do anything? But at the end, I see that she just needed to let him get everything out. Yes. She needed to hear him just say everything about how he felt and everything he went through. Because then, like she said, she's got to get to know him so that she knows how to work with him, how to pull those things, you know, out of him. So hopefully he continues. It wasn't a one-time thing. Sometimes men will do that too. Like, oh, I went. Like, no, therapy is a continuation. It's a process. You have to continue to go. Yes. You know? So
and I've been in situations like when my uncle passed and I had hard grief over it, and my mom was saying, maybe you want to do grief counseling. And I was like, what is talking to somebody that I don't know? What is that going to do? And I really related to him in that moment, but it helps to have a, what do they say, a non-objective, or like a person who's disconnected from the situation that doesn't have a personal tie to you.
They can be objective or non-biased.
You know what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, I hope y'all know what what I'm trying to say, okay? But I was just really proud of him for letting that guard down, being used to being the man in control, but relinquishing it in the moment for his healing.
Yeah.
Very, very positive.
Yeah.
And if anybody is at home going through something, don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid. Sometimes it's good to talk to your friends, but sometimes they interject their personal feelings from what they know about you. So therapy is non-biased. So we encourage you. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
There's
Especially
nothing wrong with it.
You know, if you have it, you had issues with maybe a family member or friends, you know what I mean? And it's like some things you may feel embarrassed about or guilty to talk about with certain people. And so that's why therapy is important too, because this person that you're talking to doesn't owe you anything.
Yep.
So you don't have to feel guilty. Like I would go, like, because I've talked about this before, I go to therapy, and I had a session where I'd like talk about my mom and stuff, like just the things that we would go through, and I'd be, you know, kind of timid to talk about it. The therapist is like, she's not here. It's okay. And it's not a bad thing, you know, and you're not saying anything bad. Like, let out what you need to say. And so like, that's why it's important to get someone that you don't know and someone who is professional to know how to bring that out of you and how to make you feel comfortable and not ashamed to talk about the things that you're going through.
Absolutely. Well, kudos to you, Ryan. We are very, very, very proud of you. We know that it's not easy being a man in today's world. You've dealt with a lot, and you're doing well. We hope that we see more growth out of you in this season.
And also, I think this will help him with relationships. I don't know if him and Rachel are done, fine. But moving forward, he really, like, I rarely hear men talk about wanting a wife as much as Ryan does. You know what I mean? But he wants that family unit. And honestly, this is going to help him too, because that's going to help you how you maneuver in relationships, because you can't operate the way old Ryan operates and you want a life partner.
True that. Got some changes to make.
Got a lot of changes to make. So, but he's open to that. So I think, Ryan, your wife is coming, honey.
Your wife is coming.
She's coming.
All right. She going to be lucky. Moving right along, speaking of changes, Dawn and Ashley seem to be on an amazing foot.
I'm proud of them. I'm so proud of them. Ashley, congrats for sticking it through, girl, because you're better than most of us. But I'm proud of both of them. And I know they had like a little scary moment.
A scare.
So
how'd you feel about that cancer scare?
That was deep. That was scary, because it can happen at any age, you know, like Ashley said. So I'm glad and thank God that she is okay, and it was like benign. It was not nothing serious.
Well, I'm happy to see where their relationship goes. Dawn seems to be really happy. I'm happy that he has his joy back. I'm happy that Ashley is happy. I'm happy that she got that relief. You know, nobody wants to deal with cancer at all. I'm happy it was just a cyst. And I want to see what happens with that relationship this season. So that's something to look forward to. No Van, no Bella, and no Lily.
I'm so glad it's no Lily.
I felt the way when I saw the three of the guys together, and it was no Van. I was just like, I really wish that things could go back to where they were. But I don't know if these differences are irreconcilable. Or if we will see Van later on in the season. I don't know. But via social media, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell.
It's really hard to tell.
I guess we will see.
Right. We don't have a special segment this week. We were supposed to have Don on, but we decided to save him till next week so we can have a really good talk with him, and we can really digest this first 2-hour season premiere.
Yes. And we're gonna save our news and gossip for next week as well.
We will save our news and gossip for next week as well. But make sure that you guys tune in. We hope that you enjoyed the episode. Comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any advice for anybody on the show, Neek and Charmaine, and how to deal with the mom that's hating on it. You know, the co-parenting. If you have any advice, if you lived through that situation, let us know how you handled your co-parenting. How did you handle your situation when you went through your therapy? We all want to know. You know, we want to know so we can help. Y'all can help us dissect all of this stuff. Okay?
Talk about it.
We gonna talk about it. But until next week, you guys, I'm your girl Carmen, and you can find me on Instagram at king_karma_.
And you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at LMarieTV.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.